Hello and welcome to the 11th edition of Meyer Memos. Today is November 10th, 2017. Card readers installation will take place on Monday, November 13th at 6:30 in the morning for doors 2 and 3, which is the 3rd and 4th grade doors. They'll return on Tuesday to complete the work. They're trying to do this when on non-student contact time, during non-student contact time. Grandparent Special Persons Day is taking place on Tuesday, November 14th from 7:30 to 9. I request teachers to be in their classrooms by 7:30. Remember, this takes place of a staff meeting. And I want to thank Mrs. Foy for all of her hard work in preparing for this special day. We have attendance meeting on Tuesday, November 14th at 9:30 in my office. We have an ISST meeting on Wednesday, November 15th at 8 o'clock in the conference room. The agenda is as follows: to discuss ISST's role in 504s. We have a literacy walkthrough meeting on Thursday, November 16th, all day at ESC for Jess, Jenny, and myself, our BLT team, along with the other elementary schools' BLT teams. They're going to gather the data and look for areas that we might want to focus our PD for the district. It also will help us define our PD at Olson for November 30's workshop. I want to incorporate the literacy walkthrough as well as our EL work. Grade 3 music program and art show is Thursday, November 16th. The afternoon show is 2:30 and the evening show is 7 p.m. Bathroom checkers. We've had some students write some inappropriate things in the bathrooms, and one of the ways that we stop this is by assigning checkers for each class. So teachers, please have checkers go in and be the last one out to check all the bathrooms to make sure that no one is in there. We also ask that teachers have a sign in and sign out, so then if we get a report of a person writing something on an area in there, we look at the camera, we see who goes in, then we look at the sign in, sign outs, and so on. So that makes it much cleaner, and we do find out who does the graffiti. Inside-outside duty after school. Please be on time, and if you know you're going to be late, please ask for help. It's really important that we have people at their stations so that the kids are safe. Collaborative interaction. As I'm doing my work with the literacy walkthroughs as well as our EL work, it's really important that during whole group we have some collaborative interaction. It's a must for EL students. What that looks like is having strategic groupings. I've talked to Tim Suzuki. It's like Think, Pair, Shares. And he is pushing this as well because it really engages students. He had a suggestion on what he used to do, and he provided me 4 ways to group kids. He said, I have a social partner for when we did Think, Pair, Shares. I had math partners, reading partners, and then he said I had a high-low mix when I needed that. And he called them his, he labeled them the sports. So like social partner would be your football partner, math would be baseball, reading could be basketball partner, and so on and so on. You could use seasons of the year and different things to name the different partnerships. But this is something that I'd like to see in classrooms during whole group because our EL students, it's so important that they have this experience. DIT summary, challenging meeting is what I understand what happened on Wednesday. The problem was they were asked to take a vote and recommend on the district assessments based on your SWOT activity that we did on Tuesday. They brought that back and they were supposed to help vote on recommendation, and they weren't feeling comfortable doing that, the DIT members, for these reasons. They had concerns due to the subjectivity of the types of assessments, and they're wondering about the PD, if there's enough of that to help create valid and reliable assessments. These are good concerns, in my opinion. Kelsey and Rachel will work with DIT to determine next steps, and principals are in the loop as well to help provide an advocate for staff so their voices are heard. More information will be coming. District Learning Support Summary. There is a free clinic, Health Commons at the Pond Center. It opens Mondays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. They partner with Minnesota State Mankato. They provide low-level services. They assist with setting up services. There'll be more work and services provided later. Long-distance calls. They are now available. Staff can make long-distance calls on district phones Please be responsible. Remember, only school-related calls. Wellness. We all know that we're supposed to serve only healthy foods during school hours. It's the law. Bloomington is one of the last districts to implement this. There are changes evaluated to provide improved breakfast and lunches. So basically, they're looking at trying to make some changes with breakfast and lunches. I know that our staff was concerned about that, but remember, if you have things coming up with families, be sure to emphasize that we need to have healthy foods coming in the schools. I know we had some during a harvest party, but we're taking small steps, and I didn't want to push it, but we're going to start pushing more and more so that we get to that point. Thank you for your help. Equity update. I received the data this week, and all the data is compared to Bloomington schools. We don't just give you the raw data because the other schools are in there, and it's kind of confidential, and it's a touchy situation because equity is a tough area to look at. At the first look, we have many strengths with a few areas to focus on. And overall, I thought it was very indicative of what our school is, and there's a lot of love here. And there's some things that we could improve upon, like anything else. There'll be more information to come. We are we're looking at students who haven't grown 2 years on math and reading on the map. We know that 1 year can be, they can have a bad year. 2 years, it's a little less that's the case. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen, but we are looking at students who haven't grown in math and reading on the map, and we are looking at the following areas. We want to locate barriers and services so we can help fine-tune and figure out what is getting in the way. These are the areas. Is the student having an attendance issue? When we looked at in reading, over half of the kids had attendance issues, and many of them were excused. And that's something that we're continuing to work on to try to highlight to families that when you go and miss school more than 8 times throughout the year, it starts to affect achievement. We're looking at behavior achievement. We're looking at if they're meeting with a social worker, and then we can talk to the social worker, Caitlin, to see what she's been talking about, because it might be anxiety. Nurse visits might be anxiety. Are they in special ed? Are they receiving EL services? Did they go to summer school? Are they receiving reading or math intervention last year and this year? And are they meeting with our OE specialist, Lucinda, Miss Jones? And these are the things that we want to continue to look at. So if a kid has none of these, then we'll say, okay, why aren't they growing? Did they take 6 minutes on the test? We're trying to figure out what is happening so that we can, it's just a guide. That's the one thing that I like about the map is I don't want to say, well, this kid did bad, it's a judgment call on that teacher. But we can use this more as, okay, we have a pattern of 2 years not growing. What might be the problem? And that's what we want to use this for. So I'm going to share this with staff soon. I'm gathering information, and then I'll get it to you. And then once teachers have the information, they can talk to the support. So if you see that this kid has nothing going on, but then they're meeting with with Caitlin, say, Caitlin, what are you talking about? You might already doing this, but I want to make sure that we're checking all the boxes so that we can figure that out. And we might find that this kid has anxiety for when they take tests. It's those types of things. Bloomington's operating referendum. Thank you to all for your work. It passed 69 to 31. That is the second highest differential between the yeses and nos in Bloomington's history. So way to go. I'd like to thank our team of Carol Lau, Missy Jansen. We had a parent rep, and we had Olson Middle School staff and parents that came together on a monthly basis. And I want to thank all of them for helping because we couldn't do it without them. I also want to thank the Lit Drop members and all the teachers for sharing the word, like at back to school night or anytime you discuss it with them, because they believe in what we're doing and they believe in you. So thank you for your help. Well, that's it for now. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend.